Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox, on this fine Saturday morning. Well, it's all relative, isn't it? For some people, it ain't so great. Not going to say a word. Not going to say a dicky bird about the events of last night. However, I'm going to talk about the events of the current day because there is a lovely little row brewing. Now, as we know, Reform have overtaken the Conservatives as the second force now, the main opposition party, if you will, in terms of polling at least, in Britain. And this has thrown up a couple of problems, not least of which, of course, it makes Rishi Sunak a very worried man. He's basically hunkering down and going into hiding. He's refusing to answer questions by the press and the media and all that with regards to the Tories becoming the third party of Britain. He's ignoring it, he's sticking his fingers in his ears, and he's pretending it isn't happening. Farage, on the other hand, is definitely not staying quiet. Far from it. He's incredibly angry because the BBC will be doing a, quote, leaders debate, and they will be having Sir Keir Starmer and Rishi Sunak, as they are the leaders of the two biggest parties. Farage is now demanding that he be allowed to join because, after all, his party are running second in the polls. I think he's got a fair argument. However, of course, the lefties that run the BBC don't want this to happen. They're doing their best to deplatform Farage. They're actively attacking Farage. Every sort of BBC reporter is working on the unsaid agenda that Farage is bad and that Reform are extreme, massively far to the right, and that they should be attacked at all stages. And it's so blatant, people are seeing this, that it's actually strengthening Farage's case. He's coming out and saying, look, this is what's happening. This is blatant. The BBC is supposed to be neutral on all these things. Blatantly isn't. He's saying that it's just this constant push for left-wing politics, and it's clearly no longer fit for service and all this. So the BBC are actually getting embarrassed into it. They've realised that not only are they anti-Reform and anti-Farage, that they're now being perceived by that in the public, and they don't know how to deal with it, because the only way they can deal with it is to allow Farage onto this leadership debate, and they really, really don't want to do it. So it is a wonderful and delicious little quandary that they've put themselves into. But I do think genuinely Farage should be there. He should be standing there as the second party, the official opposition, if you will. Because obviously with no MPs, there is no opposition per se. And so who do you say? Well, they're the second biggest party. Well, there's not, because there's no parties at Westminster at the moment. So who's second in the billing? If you're going to have a one-on-one, head-to-head, it really should be Starmer and Farage, and let Rishi Sunak sit it out at home, nursing his teddy bear and crying into his pillow, thinking, Mummy, Mummy, you never told me days like this would be hard. It's sad, isn't it? But you do have to raise a smile somehow, especially after last night. I'm not going to say a word. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Do let me know what you think. Should Nigel Farage be invited on to be one of three leaders, or should it be, as I would suggest, Starmer and Farage as a one-on-one double header? Let me know. Anyway, thanks a lot. Take care and goodbye.